Hello and welcome to week 23 of the Country Garden Crochet Along, and this week we're making our spoke square. So this little square starts as a circle, and we're just using front post stitches to make those lovely ridges to look like spokes. So how do we make it?
Okay, so this one's a really colourful square and we're going to be using a different colour in every round. So we're going to start with one of our yellows with a magic circle and make a chain one. So that chain one doesn't count as a stitch. And now we're going to make 8 single crochet into that circle. Just got a stitch marker there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now I'm just going to pull that tight and slip stitch into the first single crochet. Oops, let's get a mark in that. There we go. And pull through. And that is round 1 complete. So now I'm just going to cut off this colour and I'm going to bring in my next colour, which is the other yellow. And I'll do things slightly differently to what we did with the other circles, and I'm actually going to join into a different place and then pull through my second colour into any stitch. Oops, there we go, and chain 1. So again, that chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch. Into that same stitch I joined into, I'm going to make a single crochet. Now into that same stitch, or I should say around the post of this stitch here, I'm going to make a front post single crochet. So instead of working in the loops, I'm working around the post. Okay. And in the next stitch I'm going to make a single crochet, so I'm going through the loops at the top, and then I'm going to work around the post of the same stitch. So the loops are here, the post is here. I'm going to push through, so we're working around the post and make a single crochet. Okay, I'm going to do that for every stitch round. So there's the end of the stitch there. The next stitch is here. Work into the top loops, make a single crochet, and then you sort of go into the same place as you made the stitch, but you're going to the side. So you pick up the post there and make a single crochet. And carry on all the way around. So the next stitch, single crochet into the loops, and then work around the post. This one's slightly tricky because this is where the slip stitch is as well. Go and make front post single crochet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we started with 8 single crochet, so you should have 16 by the end of the round. Okay, so I'm going to go and complete that. Just be careful not to work into the slip stitch, which is my next stitch there. So I don't want to work in that, that's the slip stitch. I'll work into here next. So I'm just going to go finish that and I shall come back to you at the end of the round. Okay, so I've got to the end of the round and you can't really see the pattern yet, but we'll it'll start showing later. And now we're going to slip stitch into that first single crochet. Okay, and just pull through. Oops, what have I caught on? Yeah, man, out. There we go. Right, and then you can cut off that yellow. Just going to pull my stitch marker out, and then I'm going to bring in my next colour, which is this pink. Right, now here's the hard part. I want to join into one of the single crochet, not one of the front posts. There's a front post, there's a front post, so there is my single crochet. Okay, there we go. So join with a chain one. Chain one doesn't count as a stitch again. And into the same stitch I'm going to make a single crochet. Just put my stitch marker in there. Okay, so the next stitch here is a front post single crochet. And into that stitch I'm going to make a single crochet, and then I'm going to work around the post and make a front post single crochet into that same stitch. Okay, so as we build on this with more rounds, you'll start to see the raised stitches, and it's going to look like spokes in a wheel as we go around. Okay, so the next stitch is a single crochet, which is here. The front post single crochet kind of squishes the stitch in between, so it kind of looks like you've already worked in it. So this little tiny stitch here is my single crochet. Just work into that. And the next stitch here is the front post single crochet. So again, we're going to make a single crochet in there, and then we're going to work a front post single crochet around the post. There we go. And then this little squish stitch here is our next single crochet. So I'm going to make a single crochet in there. And that's the pattern you're going to follow all the way around. Okay, so at the end of round 3 you should have 24 stitches in total. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that, and I shall see you in a second. Okay, so I got back to the end of the round. You can see those spokes coming up now. And after my last front post single crochet, I'm going to slip stitch into the first single crochet. Ooh. Hang on, got caught there. Pull that through, and then I can cut off. So unfortunately there are a lot of ends to weave in this square, but it is going to be very pretty. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my next colour, which is this lovely lilac. And again, we want to start in a single crochet. I want to start in the single crochet after the front post single crochet, which there's my front post single, and that's the single crochet after I'm joining into there. Oops. There we go, and chain one. Chain one doesn't count as a stitch again, and then into the same stitch I'm going to make a single crochet. There we go. Right, so our next stitch is a single crochet, so we just single crochet in that. So all our increases for the entire square will be happening around the front post single crochet stitches. Everything else you can just make a single crochet in. So here's our next front post single crochet. So into the loops we're going to make a single crochet, and then around the post we're going to make a front post single crochet. And I'm definitely making my stitches too tight in this. Anyways, well, you can start to see how they're raising up the little spokes. Okay, so the next 2 stitches are single crochet, so we just single crochet into those, and I really need to loosen up my tension. 1 on, I skipped the stitch there. Go back. There. It's quite easy to miss these stitches because they get kind of pinched by the front post stitches. So you really got to keep an eye out to make sure you're in the right place. So single crochet the next 2 stitches. There we go. And then my next stitch is a front post stitch. So we start with a single crochet in the loops, and then around the post we make a front post single crochet, and carry on with that all the way around. So there's my next stitch, that little pinch one there is my next single crochet, then single crochet in the next stitch, and then here's your front post. You'll make a single crochet and a front post single crochet, and you're going to carry that all the way around. So at the end of this round we should have 32 stitches in total. Okay, so you'll always have 8 front post single crochets in every round. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I shall see you back in a moment. Okay, so I've just finished my last front post single crochet, and now we're going to slip stitch into the first single crochet, and then we can cut off that colour. So there we go. Right, we've got 3 rounds left to go. I'm going to start with the blues. Right, so again we want to join into the first single crochet after the front post stitches. So there's the front post single crochet, and here's the next single crochet. So I'm going to join in there, same way. So we're going to do this round exactly the same way as the others. You're going to make a single crochet in the first stitch where you joined, and then single crochet in the next 1, 2 single crochet as well. Then the next stitch is your front post stitch. So into the loops we make a single crochet, and then around the post we make a front post single crochet. Okay, so there's your next stitch hiding away next to where we did the front post. So single crochet into there, single crochet in the next 2 stitches as well, 1 and 2, and then we come to the next front post. So single crochet into the top loops, then a front post single crochet around the post as well, and then there's your next single crochet just being pinched there. We'll work into that. Okay, and we're going to continue that all the way around. You can see we've got these lovely little spokes coming up. So I'm going to carry on with that, and I shall come back to you at the end of the round. So I finished that round, and I slip stitched into the first stitch after I finished my last front post single crochet. So now we're on to our last circle round before we square this off. Okay, and this might look a little bit small compared to our last squares, and that's because my tension's so tight. So I'm going to have to loosen up a bit as we go around. Right, so same as before, with the darker blue this time. So there's my front post stitch, and I'm going to join into the single crochet after it. Okay, and chain 1, and into the same stitch make a single crochet. So the single crochet is our first stitch, ignore the chain 1, and then make a single crochet in each single crochet stitch. So 1, 2, 3. Yep. So including our first stitch, we've now got 4 single crochet before we get to our front post stitch. And into that front post stitch, same as before, single crochet into the loops, and then make a front post single crochet around the post. Okay, and there's our next stitch just pinched in there. So 1, 2, let's wrap that edge out of the way, 3 and 4 single crochet, and then we get to our next front post stitch. Single crochet in there, there we go, and then make a front post single crochet around the post. Okay, so I need to ignore the slip stitch that is there and then work into the next single crochet and then carry on around. 1, 2, 3, hang on, where's my other stitch gone? 1, 2, I've just missed it. It's the only problem with these slip stitches, you miss everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, there we go. 1, 2, 3 and 4 single crochet, and then we're back to the front post stitch, single crochet in the top, make a front post single crochet around the post, and then there's our next stitch just pinched underneath, single crochet there. Okay, so I'm going to go finish that all the way around, and then once I've joined that and cut off, we will square this off. Okay, so now we're going to square off, and I've got my medium green that we use for all the others. So you can join into any stitch around the edge. Join and chain 1, and then single crochet into the first stitch. Okay, so now we're going to make a single crochet in the next 10 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Okay, so including your starting single crochet, you'll have 11 stitches there. Okay, so in the next stitch we're going to make our corner. So in the next stitch make a single crochet, then a double crochet, chain 1, and then a double crochet. Okay, and that's your corner. All those made in the same stitch. Single crochet, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, all in the same stitch. And then we could repeat. So our next stitch is a single crochet. And you're going to single crochet the next 11 stitches. Okay, so after the double crochet of our corner stitch, then we make a single crochet the next 11 stitches. And then after that 11 stitches we make another corner, and the same all the way around. So this is the same way as we squared off some of our other squares. Okay, so the exact same pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this, and I shall see you when I get back round to the beginning. Okay, so there we go. I've slip stitched into the first stitch and I've woven in all my ends, and I think that's a really cute little square. So this one gets joined between your colourwork arrow stitch and your diamond stitch. Okay, so for each stitch, in the side of every double crochet row on your diamond and arrow panels is 2 single crochet on here, and then it's 1 single crochet whip stitched into every single crochet row. Okay, and you just whip stitch it on exactly the same as we did our other squares. You can refer back to week 11 when we stitched together our row squares if you need a second look. And that is it, and that's our last of our squares complete. So next week we start on panels again. So I hope you enjoy that, and I shall see you next week for the next stitch. Bye for now.